Hi, I'm JJ Gormley. I'm going to lead you through a chair yoga class today. And I have my chair and a blanket is on top, or you can have the blanket on the floor. And then you will also need something to slide your feet on. I'm on carpet, and so I have these furniture sliders, which work great, or paper plates work just as well. If you're on hardwood floor, then you could use your blanket on the floor and put your feet on the blanket or a towel to slide. And then I have a couple of blocks that you see back under there. And yeah, if you have blocks, great, we can use them. But I'll also show what to do without if you don't have blocks. So either way. All right, so let me just set this up a little bit better. Okay. A little bit. All right. All right, so let's just start taking a few moments to feel your feet on the floor or whatever you've got them on. Find your breath. Let the breath deepen so that the exhale lasts just even a second longer. All right, and we're going to go back and forth doing something from the bottom, then the top, bottom, top, working our way in toward the spine, and then back out. So we'll start down at the feet. I have my feet off of the sliders now. And I'm going to scoot forward in my chair so that I can bring my feet back underneath me a little bit so it's easier to lift my heels, come up onto the tippy toes, and then go in the opposite direction, plant the heels and lift the toes. I'm just going back and forth, those two movements. All right, and then bring the feet back underneath and lift the heels and roll the heels out and in toward each other, stretching across the tops of the toes there, neck of the toes, as we say. And you can even slide one foot back and point the toes back so you're on the top of the toe, and then wobble the heel back and forth. We'll do that on both sides. Point your toes straight back toward the wall behind you. All right. And then bring your feet up on whatever you're sliding on, your blanket, your towel, or your paper plates, or if you have chair sliders or furniture sliders. Let's just do one leg at a time. Take it out and in, out on the inhale, back in on the exhale. Some of the time you can flex the foot, which I like to do more of because my calves are tight. But you can also point and get that stretch across the top of the ankle if your ankles are tight. So choose which one or do some of each. And do the other side. Keep the knees a little bit soft so they don't lock when you take the leg out. All right, and then let's come up to the fingers and hands. We'll start with the hands, palms down, and come up on top of the fingertips and press the fingers into the thighs and release. And then press the fingers, the entire fingers down, and you can rock along the palm of the hand. Let me just show that. So it's something like that. So first we did this, then we're doing this. And you can do one hand at a time. It's hard to show out sitting. And then press the whole hand down. Stretches into the wrists a little bit. All right. And then flip the palms over. And here we're going to press the fingers into the thigh backwards, one finger at a time. And you can kind of turn your hand so it's easier to press your pinky in, the ring finger down. Most of the time we're gripping mice and stirring and things like this. So this is going to extend the fingers, pressing them into the thigh. Do both sides, both hands. And then spread the fingers wide, stretching the hands. All right, and then raise the hands like this, flexing the wrists as well, and turn the hands out and in, kind of getting up into the elbows a little bit too. All right, and then you can clench, but a relaxed clench, because remember that's the one we do most of the time. So I keep it kind of loose, but more just rolling the wrist. So you can imagine you have, like, you know, sparklers or pom-poms or something, and you're just turning that out and in. All right, and then just one wrist at a time, as though you're sort of twirling that pom-pom or that sparkler in the air, making a big circle with your wrist. Do the other side. Oops, I forgot to do the other direction. We'll do the other direction in a moment. All right, go back to the first side. Do it the way you normally did. That's probably what you did normally, and then reverse it. And the other side again, do it the way you would sort of initially start it, and then reverse it. All right. And then put the arm down toward the floor like you're stirring a pot down there in one direction, and then go in the other. And do both sides. All right, and then bring it up. We're going to take it out to the side, stirring the pot out to the side, or waving big circles. Reverse. Make the circles as large as comfortable for you. Hopefully you're not hitting a wall back there behind you, both directions. All right. We got all the joints of the arms done. Let's come back down to the legs. And so we'll go back to just one leg at a time. And we just did straight out in front before. We're going to start to go out on the side angles. Getting into those hip rotators. You can also keep the knee bent, foot in, knee bent, foot in place, and turn the knee out to the side and back in, getting into those hip rotators. And do both sides. We'll start again, taking the spokes out on different angles out. Out is your inhale, bending the knee is your exhale. And then knee out and in. All right. All right, so now from the hips down and from the shoulders down should feel fairly warmed up, fairly loose and flexible. We're going to do some, what I just did, these shoulder circles, shoulder rolls. So we'll take the shoulders up toward the ears, back toward the wall behind you, and then release. A few of those, and notice we're going in one direction. So now we'll go in the opposite direction. All right. And then just relax. I come to the head and get into these neck muscles. We'll drop the head down. Don't force it down. Don't push it. Just let it release to where it's comfortable for you. And then raise it. And again, head down. And now just imagine, don't actually do this, just imagine someone's got their hand behind you, pushing your head or pressing on your head as you push up against that. All right, and see if that feels like it worked your muscles a little bit more, just imagining that to happen. And then feel like that hand is still back there behind your head and you're pushing against it to take your head back, but keep the neck long. Crown of the head is reaching for the length, for like a little traction. And then bring your head back to neutral. And we'll do that again. Feel like that hand is back behind you. You have a little resistance against it as you take your head back. And then feel like that hand comes to the forehead now and pressing against your forehead as you bring your head back to neutral. So sometimes just imagining that work actually makes the neck muscles work a little bit more. So see if that happened to you. Let's do that one more time, the head back one. Just imagining that hand is on your forehead as you bring your head back up. All right, and then we'll turn the head to one side like you're looking for your blind spot and back to neutral and do the other side. Might notice that little bit of a twist there, and we'll repeat, and this time imagining some resistance at the temporal bone here at your temple. Someone's pushing against that. Again, just imagining it. So it's just a little imaginary resistance work. And then do the other side. Imagining that someone's almost trying to keep you to look in your blind spot, but not really. It's just in your imagination. All right, so now the neck muscles should feel a little more alive. We're going to do the eye muscles next. Keep your head looking forward, but roll your eyes up toward the ceiling and take a moment to really concentrate on the left eye looking and then the right eye looking up. Even up, left eye up a little bit further back, like there was a bug crawling there and it's now crawling almost up over your forehead. And then relax your eye muscles. Just looking forward, you can blink a couple of times and pay attention to if you're overdoing it. So you don't want to get dizzy or any feelings like that. So if you overdo it, back off. And this next one, just, do 50% effort. So we did straight up for that one. So we're going to look at a little bit of an angle, but don't turn the head. Try to keep your head on straight. Keep your head looking forward. Roll up first, and then it's like that little bug just walks off to one side. Little bug on the ceiling walks off to one side, but keep your head on straight because you don't want the bug to know you're looking. And then release back to neutral, looking forward. And we'll do the other side. Look up. Keep your head on, looking forward, and then little bug walks over to one side. And then release. I don't do the eyes down movement. For most of us as we age, that's the eye muscles that are constantly getting worked, just looking down. So the eye muscles up is more the ones we need. If you happen to know that you look up a lot and you need the downward ones, then by all means practice those as well. We're going to take one last set of eye movements straight over to each side. So again, head is going to stay looking forward toward the screen. Just the eyes are looking way over toward the ear on one side. Try not to move the head, just the eyes. Left eye, right eye, both going way over there, and then release. And then we'll do the other side. Way, way over. Left eye, right eye. And release. And then again, just pause. You can blink a couple times, open and close your eyes. And you should not be feeling dizzy or any sensations like that. That's a sign that you're overdoing it. And you can barely take the eyes up, and you'll probably be stretching your eye muscles just enough that you need to do. So you don't have to do these big movements, just paying attention to what you need. All right, so we've done the toes, the ankles, knees, the hips, and we've done the major head and arms and shoulders and neck. So we're going to start to come into the spine. So we'll first start with just this cat-cow movement, a rounded spine, on the exhale, and a little baby back bend on the inhale. Start small and you can get larger as you get more warmed up. You can add the arm movement if you like. Arms can go up and out on the inhale and back to the lap or belly on the exhale. Arms taking the range of motion comfortable for you. Let's do one more like this. And then come back to neutral. All right, we'll start with some twists. Let's take the legs just a little wider. And inhale the arms about shoulder height. Elbows can be bent. And exhale, opposite hand to a knee for a little twist. Inhale, come right back to neutral. And second side, exhale, twist. And we'll repeat that. Inhaling to center, exhaling into the twist. Inhale to center, exhaling into the twist. All right, the next time we twist to one side, let's hold there. Hold the twist, not the breath. Exhale into it and keep breathing. Tailbone and pubic bone down. Broaden across the collarbones. Bring the bottom tips of the shoulder blades in toward each other. Take another breath here. And on your inhale, come back to neutral. And exhale, go right into the second side. Holding the pose, not the breath, so keep breathing. Tailbone down, pubic bone down. Bottom tips of the shoulder blades squeeze in toward each other. Top of the collarbones are broad. And on your next inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale the arms down. And you can bring the feet in. We'll take a cat-cow here. All right, let's get into the front of the leg muscle. So we've been stretching the legs out and done the rotators out, but we'll get into the leg muscles a little bit more. If you turn at a bit of an angle, so I'm kind of more facing off the corner of the chair, and whatever your foot is going to slide on, the leg that's toward the screen needs to be on that. And we'll start by stretching the leg toward the screen out in front, and then it can start to move toward the back. And the toes can turn however you like. They can be tucked under or pointed. They can be pointed with the toes, top of the toe on the slider, if you like. So, or toes tucked under with the bottom of the foot on your slider, whatever you're sliding on. And pick different spokes, different angles, and you can play with the turn of the foot or ankle any way you like. Warming up that whole leg, being nice and fluid with the movement, so the knee's happy, not taking any movement that feels like it's aggravating the knee. Knee is a little more fragile joint of the leg. Some people do feel it in the ankle or the toes. So wherever you feel it, make sure you're taking care of that and not overdoing it where it would be bothering you. All right, let's come to a little bit more toward the side of the chair, same side, and start to stretch that leg more towards straight back to get into the hip flexors here. So just hanging the leg off the chair here and moving it a little bit back is going to stretch those hip flexors on the front of the thigh there a little bit. And the more you take it back, the more you're stretching. So you figure that out for you. And if straight back is too much, keep taking that angle more toward the front, toward the screen. All right. All right. And then pick one of those angles, one of those positions, and we'll hold for a moment and turn the body toward the front knee, the bent knee. And take a breath there. And then bend the knee and we'll walk it around to the other side. We'll first take it off to that corner, at that angle. And the leg that's closest to the screen goes on the slider. And first up in front and then working your way back. And again, playing with whether your toes are tucked under and which way the ankle is or the toes are stretching out. Sometimes my heel goes out first, sometimes the toes. So just being nice and loosey-goosey, warming that leg up. All right, and then you can be a little more deliberate about what you're doing, getting into that more lunge type position with the leg going further back. You can walk yourself deeper around on the side. Sometimes that makes it deeper, sometimes that makes it easier. So give it a shot and see how it feels for you. And some of the time you can have the toes tucked under, and some of the time the toes pointed straight back so the top of the foot is on whatever you're sliding. Doesn't matter. All right. And then pick one of those angles to hold and turn to face your front knee, your bent knee. Pause there, breathe. So this stretching of the front leg is what we're going for after sitting in chairs a lot of the time. Those hip flexors can get tight, so we want to get in there and stretch those. All right. We'll come back to the spine now for some laterals. If you have blocks, have your blocks to either side handy. I'll start without them, and then I'll show you with them when we get there. Hands to the hips to start. Tailbone and pubic bone move down. Crown of the head up toward the ceiling. So you have a nice long spine. Exhale. Then inhale, see if you can grow the spine just a millimeter longer. And then exhale, lean over to one side for the lateral, stretching the lateral side of your body. I guess that's redundant. Inhale back up and exhale the other side. Inhale to center. We'll repeat. All right, to go a little deeper, your hand can let go of the hip and hold the chair seat, or could come down the chair leg, or if you might have a rung or a crossbar there. I don't, and the block comes in handy for that, but you can also use any part of your chair anatomy. So inhale, lengthen, and exhale, over you go. You can slide down the chair. If you have a block there and it's in range, go ahead and reach for that. Move the block anywhere you like for your comfort. Roughly, the block underneath the shoulder is should be easiest for the shoulder, but it sometimes can aggravate the wrist, and you might want it out a little further or be up on the fingertips. All right, inhale, let go of that block, come on back up. Pause here at center for a moment. Keep breathing, and then as you're ready, inhaling, lengthen. And exhaling over to the other side, sliding down the chair leg, perhaps to the block or some part of the chair anatomy. Placing that block wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then on an inhale, come on back up. All right, so we've done twists and laterals. We're going to take a cat-cow here just to square ourselves back up as a counter pose. Exhale, rounded spine. Inhale, back bend. And repeat. All right, and let's take a slight deeper twist if you're up for it. If not, you can repeat one of the twists that we've done before. For a deeper twist, we'll turn, so the one we did before was at center with the legs wide. We're going to turn off to one side now. and twist toward the chair back. So off to the side on the inhale, raise the arms out to the sides. And exhale, cross that opposite arm to the leg, other hand to the chair back or chair seat. And you can deepen the twist if you like, sliding your hand toward the hip or toward the chair. And tailbone and pubic bone down, crown of the head up, all the same alignment cues. Bottom tips of the shoulder blades in toward each other. Let's turn the head toward the wall behind you, as comfortable for your neck. And then release. Again, twist deeper. Exhale. Inhale, release all the way back to center, opening the arms wide. Exhale, hands to the knees. And here we'll take a cat-cow here with the start position down, elbows to thighs. And so on the exhale, still a rounded spine. And on the inhale, as best as comfortable for you, a little baby back bend here. And repeat. One more. All right, climb back up and we'll walk it to the other corner of the chair. You're facing off that corner. And then on an inhale, raise the arms about shoulder height. Exhale, opposite arm to the leg. Other hand back behind anywhere. Breathing. On the exhale, you can turn your head toward the wall behind you. So we'll deepen the twist a little bit. Inhale, release. Exhaling, deepening. Inhale, release. One more. And on your inhale, open it out to center. Exhale, arms down. And then we'll let the elbows rest on the thighs again. And rounded spine on the exhale. Little baby back bend on the inhale. And repeat. All right, and then climb back up and facing center. All right, and let's just counter pose out of this. So on the inhale, arms out wide, a little back bend. Exhale, a rounded spine. You can deepen this on either end, either the back bend or the forward bend. And then start to make the movement really tiny. Barely moving in one direction or the other past center. Smaller and smaller until really hardly anyone could tell you're moving. And make it so the body is so calm and quiet, but it still feels like inside there's still that wave-like movement. With the breath. So on the inhale, you feel like, oh, there is a tiny bit of a back bend, but no one can see it. Only you can feel it. And on the exhale, there still feel inside, there is still that release. And then feel free to sit back into the chair back. Again, feel your feet on the floor. Find your breath. Allow the breath to lengthen, especially that exhale. Exhale is our rest and digest, or associated with the parasympathetic nervous system, sometimes called the healing nervous system. as opposed to the sympathetic nervous system associated with the inhale. That is the fight or flight response system. So you want to be nice and relaxed. Lengthen your exhale. You want to wake up in the morning, kick up actually, we never recommend you kick up the inhale in yoga. Instead, we would add an inhale hold. Hold after the inhale, that is. All right, we're going to do this pattern of breath for just 1 minute. That is like making a triangle with the breath. On the inhale, it's going to be equal to the exhale twice. So the exhale twice as long as the inhale. So maybe you count 1, 2, 3 as you inhale, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as you exhale. So it makes a triangle. Inhale up, exhale down one slope and across the base of the triangle. Inhale. And so if your exhale is not twice as long, just make your triangle a little more narrow and have the inhale be one length and the exhale just a little bit longer. So adjust your triangle so that your exhale is no more than twice as long as the inhale. So it might be an equilateral triangle. If your inhale equals 2 sides of the exhale. Can you tell I was a math teacher? Not anymore. It's been a while, but I used to. All right. I thank you for coming and joining me today.